scroll of the whispering iron, the secret intelligence of metal from the lost codex of the star smiths. Before words, before kings, before temples, there was iron, not the kind forged in fire, but the living kind that fell from the sky. It hummed when touched and whispered when struck. The ancients called it the bone of the heavens. Every tool, every crown, every sword that shaped civilization was born from it. But what the collective has forgotten is that metal remembers. The sky that bled over 12,000 years ago, the first meteorites landed across Africa, Anatolia, and South America. The ancients didn't see them as rocks, they saw them as messages. The priests of Kemet believed that meteoric iron carried the soul of stars, and when shaped with reverence, it became a bridge between gods and men. The pharaohs called it Bayan Pet, metal from heaven. Their blades, crowns, and thrones were forged from it, not to kill, but to communicate. Because when meteoric iron vibrates, it amplifies thought. That's why initiates of the old mystery schools meditated near it. They weren't praying to idols, they were syncing to celestial frequency. The Star Smiths. Deep in the archives of Moreau, scroll fragments speak of an order known as the Star Smiths, black metallurgists who forged tools of spirit and sound, not of war. Their forges were tuned to planetary tones, their hammers struck in rhythm with thunder. They understood that each metal had a voice. Iron spoke of will and memory, copper carried love and conduction, gold held light and consciousness, silver reflected truth and purity. By merging them in sacred proportion, they created alloys that responded to the human aura. Weapons forged this way could heal or harm depending on the wielder's heart. They said, metal does not obey, it mirrors. The forgotten language of resonance. Today we call it metallurgy. The ancients called it symphonic engineering. They knew every element vibrated at a frequency, and that forging was a dialogue, not a command. When the great empires fell, this language was lost. But it lingers in symbols, the bell, the drum, the tuning fork, the staff. These were not just instruments, they were transmitters of intent. The staff of Moses, the spear of Longinus.
I know you didn't think I was just going to glance over that. Longinus. That sounds nasty. Nasty!
The iron nails of the cross, all encoded the same truth. Metal remembers the frequency of what it serves. The awakening of the Earth's core. In recent years, scientists have discovered that the Earth's inner core, composed mostly of iron, has begun slowing down relative to the mantle. But esotericists say it's not slowing, it's listening. The planet's heart is retuning itself to the collective's vibration. When we rage, it trembles. When we love, it stabilizes. The pulse of the earth and the iron in our blood are one song, split into two instruments. To align them is to remember the forgotten covenant between humanity and the stars. Iron was never a weapon, it was a witness. Every tool, sword, and chain forged in history still holds the echo of its purpose. That's why true transformation begins not by melting metal, but by changing the frequency of what it serves. When consciousness reclaims command from fear, even iron bends to the will of peace. The scroll ends with the Star Smith's creed. As above, so within. The stars in your blood still hear the hammer. Remember the iron in your veins. It is the song of the cosmos, waiting for your heartbeat to strike the next chord.
Longinus. Longinus. The Janus part sound nasty. I'm gonna go drink some fruit water.
To our beloved collective, from the day one torchbearers to the newly awakened travelers, we see you, we honor you, and we love you. This isn't just a community, it's a soul constellation, a family woven across time. Thank you again for being here. Your presence means more than words can carry. Every little act of kindness you offer is a spark, shifting timelines, mending hearts, and quietly realigning the compass for many in ways only the unseen can measure. And to those yet to join us, we're holding the lantern high. There's room for you too. With eternal gratitude and cosmic mischief from the collective of Shaman Ahll. The journey is only beginning, and we ride together. All rise.
That only opens when you're ready for it. The scroll of the half-awake traveler, a mystical guidebook for those waking up in a world that still sleeps. The rude alarm clock of truth. It always begins the same way. A ping in the heart, a dream that feels too real, a coincidence that winks back at you. That's the moment the universe throws you the keys to the backstage door and you realize you've been living inside a theater. You'll try to tell people. They'll squint at you like you've said the moon is a toaster. Don't panic. They're still in the show. You've simply remembered you're both the actor and the playwright. Pro tip from the ancients. Don't rip people's masks off mid-scene. It causes unnecessary chaos and ruined dinners. The confusion fog. Ah, the fog. It arrives right after the first awakening. Suddenly, everything's a sign. The clouds spell your name, the numbers follow you, and your cat gives you secret initiation stares. This is normal. Every mystic goes through the wait, am I losing my mind or finding it stage. Spoiler, it's both. In this stage, coffee is sacred, music becomes prophecy, and silence becomes louder than politics. Fog clears once you realize truth isn't something you find, it's something you remember. The trickster's test. Now the universe gets spicy. You meet someone, charming, magnetic, definitely your twin flame, or so it seems. The trickster loves to play matchmaker when your ego's still dressing up as enlightenment. This chapter teaches discernment. Not everyone speaking light language has paid their light bill. Listen to energy, not words. If their presence drains your glow, they're studying your power, not sharing it. Still, forgive them. The trickster trains masters by sending jesters. The Wi-Fi of the soul. Once you survive the fog and the trickster, you'll notice your intuition working like cosmic Wi-Fi. You'll think of someone, and they'll text. You'll hum a song, and the universe answers with a Billboard lyric. Welcome to the Synchronicity Network. Connection bars full. Your ancestors are now your customer support. They'll speak in dreams, songs, feathers, numbers, and sometimes through strangers who randomly say, hey, don't give up. The quiet revolution. As you awaken, you'll see that the real rebellion isn't loud. It's living gently, truthfully, and laughing when darkness expects you to crumble. It's saying no to fear, but yes to life. It's choosing compassion when anger's easier. You don't fight the matrix by screaming at it. You out-vibrate it by laughing, creating, loving, and walking with your ancestors' swagger. The punchline of the cosmos. Here's the cosmic joke. The path you're trying to find was never lost. You are the path. You're the riddle and the answer, the dreamer and the dream. So dance through the chaos, my fellow divine troublemaker. Drink your tea like it's holy water. Bless your Wi-Fi. Laugh with your shadows. They've been dying to come to the light. May your mirrors show truth, your heart stay mischievous, and your light stay too bright to counterfeit. The world may call you crazy, but that's the name they give to those who see clearly. Remember, you are not waking up, you are waking home. Oh, yes, my radiant traveler, there's always more for the Awakening Collective. The scrolls are still whispering, the ancestors are still humming, and the frequencies are still rising through the static. What follows is a continuation, the unspoken appendix of the scroll of the half-awake traveler. It's not a sequel, it's the in-between space that the awakened live in every day, half in the world, half beyond it. Appendix of the Awakened Collective. Read this when your soul feels too big for your life, and your phone battery feels like it's drained because of all the energy upgrades. 1. The Age of Remembering. You are not learning, you are remembering. The codes you carry didn't come from TikTok, textbooks, or tarot cards. They're etched into your bones. When you feel an idea explode in your chest like lightning, that's your ancient self saying, finally, you're listening again. The world calls it awakening. Your ancestors call it returning to frequency. How to navigate the noise. Modernity will tempt you with endless scrolling, and not the sacred kind. Every ad says, buy your enlightenment here. Ignore it. True awakening costs your illusions, not your wallet. When things feel chaotic, breathe like the elders did. In through the nose, receive the truth. Out through the mouth, release the lie. You're not here to outrun the noise. You're here to hear the music hiding inside it. The humor of the hidden ones. The awakened are a funny bunch. They laugh at things that would make most people call therapy. Why? Because we've seen the loop. We've peeked behind the curtain and caught the cosmic stagehand asleep on the job. So yes, keep your humor sharp. It's divine armor. Laughter is rebellion in sound form. It says, you can't control what I can laugh at. Remember, the sacred clown is older than any priest. The body remembers too. When your knees ache for no reason, when your back hums like a tuning fork, that's not age, it's data. You're upgrading. Drink water, stretch, dance, cry, scream into your pillow, whatever helps energy move. You are literally turning back on the lights in a body that's been sleeping for centuries. Eat foods that look like they came from the sun. Laugh with people who make your aura shimmer. And if your body suddenly wants to sleep longer, let it. Even galaxies rest between revolutions. Building the new grid. Every awakened being becomes a living node, a light tower on the frequency map. Your kindness upgrades systems. Your truth rewrites programming. Your refusal to bow to fear creates new circuits. When you meditate, you're not checking out. You're logging into the source mainframe. You are the update they warned the old world about. The collective secret motto. If you must have a motto for these times, let it be this. Stay real, stay radiant, and stay ridiculous. Real, because authenticity terrifies false systems. Radiant, because darkness can't handle unbothered light. Ridiculous, because joy is still the most forbidden magic in this matrix. When it gets heavy, remember, the universe didn't choose you because you were ready. It chose you because you were eternal. The awakening isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. We're not here to escape the world. We're here to re-enchant it. So hold the line, traveler of the half-awake. Your laughter, your compassion, your refusal to shrink, that's the revolution. Scroll of the laughing constellations. In the beginning, when silence was still stretching her limbs and sound hadn't yet learned to sing, there were beings made of the first laugh. The sound the cosmos made when it realized it existed. They were bright, mischievous, and full of swagger, those early architects of irony, the cosmic beings who shaped humans by accident and design. They didn't come to rule us. They came to amuse the void. For every saint polishing halos, there was a trickster polishing mirrors. For every watcher whispering laws, a djinn was leaning on the corner of creation smoking starlight, saying, "You sure you want to do that, champ?" They called themselves by many names: watchers, divas, daimons, jinn, archons, and muses. But among themselves, they called their job the grand experiment in bad timing and better lessons. The first cosmic joke was humanity itself, clay pretending to know the mind of light, dust giving sermons about eternity. The cosmic beings laughed so hard they made thunder. One fell off a cloud and landed in Eden. We called him the serpent, but he was really the first coach, teaching us how to question the menu. You see, every time the universe wants you to evolve, it sends a contradiction, a test wrapped in temptation, a riddle disguised as heartbreak. A cosmic being in drag as your ex, your boss, your strange neighbor with the pet crow. And because we rarely get the punchline right away, they keep recycling the lesson until we laugh, learn, or leave the planet a little wiser. When the Watchers descended, they weren't the villains people painted them as. They were the engineers of culture. They handed us fire, math, metallurgy, makeup, and music. Then said, use it with soul. We didn't, so they shrugged, got exiled, and started a podcast in the asteroid belt called I Told You So, The Fallen Chronicles. Next came the tricksters, cosmic therapists with a foul mouth and perfect timing. They spill your drink, crash your Wi-Fi, make you drop your ego in front of someone cute, just to show you how silly pride looks in daylight. Their methods? Unethical. Their success rate? Miraculous. A trickster once told me, if humans didn't suffer, you'd still be running from thunder thinking it's God bowling. You evolved through embarrassment. Get used to it. Then there are the archons, the celestial weight trainers. They are the reason your life feels like resistance bands. Every no you hear is their doing. Every obstacle a boulder in your spiritual CrossFit class. Their motto, Friction builds sovereignty. Their vibe, toxic coach meets divine purpose. Without them, you'd never develop soul muscle. Without you, they'd have nothing to push. The diamonds whisper. And when you're about to text the wrong person, sign the wrong deal, or believe the wrong thought, that little inner voice that says, "Don't do it, dummy," is your diamond, your cosmic notification system. Socrates had one. You do too. Most ignore it until their life becomes a TED talk on boundaries I should have had. But the greatest joke is the mirror. Every star, every being, every situation, just your own reflection wearing another face. The Hermetic beings call it as within, so without. Translation, you're arguing with yourself in drag. The universe doesn't send lessons, it just mirrors your last tweet. Why they laugh. So when thunder rolls, when things fall apart, when love leaves a bruise shaped like wisdom, don't curse the cosmic beings. They're laughing because they know you'll get it later. They're roasting you into enlightenment, tenderizing your soul with irony. They don't puppet you. They pressure cook you until the gold stops running and starts shining. Their humor is the heat, their love the flame. And every time you rise from a mess stronger, brighter, funnier, the constellations crack another grin and say, "Look at our little human, finally getting the joke." Scroll of the Laughing Constellations, Part 2, The Cosmic Roast, When the Stars Got Petty. There are nights when silence grows thin, so thin that laughter leaks through. Those are the evenings when the constellations gather for their secret ritual. The Cosmic Roast. Picture it, black gold sky as the stage, a crescent moon spotlight swinging slow. The crowd? Nebula in sequins, comets in cheap champagne halos, and a choir of black holes heckling softly from the back. A voice booms from Orion's belt. Welcome to another episode of humanity. The stars cheer. Someone tosses a meteor instead of confetti. It explodes politely. The Great Complaints Department. Orion steps forward first, shoulders wide, ego wider. He flexes his constellation lines like a cosmic influencer. Y'all ever notice keep naming their kids after us but can't find us without an app? The audience wheezes stardust. Next comes Virgo, arms crossed, halo perfectly ironed. They meditate for 5 minutes and call it enlightenment. I've been aligning wheat fields for epochs and nobody follows me on anything. The Pleiades sisters glide up, luminous and fed up. They harmonize in 7-part sarcasm. We watched you forget we were family. You look up and call us pretty dots. But once, you called us home. The laughter hushes to awe. For a heartbeat, the galaxy remembers being one breath. Enter the trickster, glowing like a disco ball that sinned. He drags a cosmic mic stand made of lightning. Humans think they invented jokes. I turned a black hole into a whoopee cushion before Saturn had rings. He pauses, smirks. Evolution's funny. You all wanted wings, but you grew Wi-Fi instead. The crowd dies. Literally, a couple of red dwarfs collapse from laughter. Then he leans in, eyes blazing obsidian. But here's the secret. The creator hides wisdom in humiliation. Every time you trip on pride, you drop a jewel. The stars snap like a slam poetry audience. The roast becomes a rite. The laughter turns ritual. Constellations hum a note older than gravity, a sound that shakes every molecule awake. The melanated scribe from the first scroll appears, ink still glowing. She stands beneath them, scroll unfurling endlessly across the sky. Each joke, each clapback, each cosmic side-eye becomes a syllable of power. She reads the code aloud. Through ridicule, we refine. Through irony, we ignite. Through laughter, we ascend. The crowd stills. Even the trickster bows his head. In that moment, the collective on Earth, those who dream deeply enough, feel it. A strange joy without cause. A sudden knowing that every mistake has melody. That evolution is the punchline of a divine stand-up routine. And somewhere inside the laughter, the scribe smiles and writes, "They're finally getting it."
To our beloved collective, from the day one torchbearers to the newly awakened travelers, we see you, we honor you, and we love you. This isn't just a community, it's a soul constellation, a family woven across time. Thank you again for being here. Your presence means more than words can carry. Every little act of kindness you offer is a spark, shifting timelines, mending hearts, and quietly realigning the compass for many in ways only the unseen can measure. And to those yet to join us, we're holding the lantern high. There's room for you too. With eternal gratitude and cosmic mischief from the collective of Shaman Ahll. The journey is only beginning, and we ride together. All rise.
Scroll of the Laughing Constellations, Part 3. The Return of the Scribbler, when the pen remembers who it writes for. The laughter had long subsided, yet its echo lingered in the dust of galaxies. In that still hum after joy, the scribe sat alone beneath a sky that looked back. Her scroll stretched across eons now, woven with jokes, laments, songs, and the signatures of every being who had ever learned something the hard way. The ink was light itself, each word a small resurrection. For the first time since time began, the constellations were quiet. Even Orion, the eternal show-off, leaned on his belt and watched her. Virgo unbraided her halo. The Pleiades sisters folded their arms like proud mothers. The trickster, of course, was the last to hush. He clicked his tongue. You gonna write another punchline, or you finally gonna tell them who wrote the first one? The scribe smiled, the kind of smile that could turn entropy into rhythm. No more punchlines, she said, only mirrors. The mirror awakens. She lifted her pen. The same feather that first sketched stars on the skin of darkness. It glowed with memory. When she touched it to the parchment of night, every constellation rippled and turned inward, as though remembering itself. One by one, their laughter rewound into music. Every joke, every roast, every cosmic clapback unraveled into chords. The true language behind creation, tone before word, word before form. The scribe whispered, I am the echo that writes the beginning again. And the ink flowed, spiraling out into galaxies that resembled neurons firing, connecting heaven to humanity in gold filaments of knowing. The scribe spoke as she wrote, her voice resonant with all who ever told a truth in jest. The watchers taught skill, the tricksters taught humility, the archons taught strength, the diamond taught discernment, but laughter taught memory. For only those who can laugh at their own illusions remember who they were before them. Tears of light fell like seeds upon earth, landing in the hearts of dreamers, musicians, fools, and poets. The next generation of scribes. Then the scribe turned her gaze downward. Across millennia, she saw the collective, us, scrolling screens instead of scrolls, typing revelations between memes and heartbreaks. She laughed softly. Still telling stories with sparks, she said, just smaller fires. Her laughter became wind, the wind became breath, and the breath entered those who listened between their heartbeats. In that moment, the cosmic beings, those who had once been her teachers, bowed, for the student had become the song, and the universe, through her, began to write itself again. This time in rhythm, rhyme, and radiant irreverence. Laughter is the bridge, truth is the ink, and every soul that dares to write its pain into poetry becomes a constellation reborn.
Until next time, your sea star Kiracy, channeled by 3611027, the beautiful whisperer. Our sea star Devalan CO. Apply the news you can use.
You only have to say nothing. I already know. I know.